Let's bow our heads in prayer. Lord bless. Amen. 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 This morning's message is simply entitled, I love you. Question mark. I love you. I love you. Half of it. I love you. It's amazing to me that my thoughts drip in and out when I'm alone. And they always seem to end up with my relationship with God. Now, I don't know what you think about on your spare time, and I don't know what you give your thoughts to, but I can start with the most wicked of thoughts. But I know I'm saved now because all the thoughts end up with me loving God. Oh, I could talk about somebody so bad in my mind. I don't know why they did that. How dare they did. Oh, but you know you love the Lord and God has been good to you. You know, it always ends back up to God is so good to us. That is the maturity of your discipline. When you realize that your mouth and your murmuring may not be of God, but by the time the conversation is over, we exalt you. We magnify you. We lift up holy hands. I'm saying that there's a maturity in this. One of the things that got me caught up in thought this weekend is that one of the topics that is most prevalent in the church today is love, but I'm not even sure if we know what it is. So I love you. I think I love you. I love you. I love you. How can I get so caught up into the worship of loving God and then transfer that same loving to man? I'm concerned because we close our eyes and we get lost in the worship and telling God how much I love him. And that is supposed to be our model. That's supposed to be our pattern. That is supposed to be the guise in which we draw from. But I do realize that the way I love God, I don't love you guys. And I think I'm supposed to. I mean, I mean, you know, it is so technical now loving, to be free, to be relaxed in somebody's presence, and to feel safe. Because see, that's what love is for me. When I'm worshiping Daddy God, when I'm worshiping God and giving him all that I think he deserves, I feel so relaxed and so secure and so comfortable that he loves me back. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So what's happening is the reason I don't feel the same way about human that I do about God is because I'm not getting reciprocatory action. So I got it to give, but people ain't giving it back to me. I'm going out of my way. I love you. Good morning. God is good. Good morning. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So when I close my eyes and I give God the glory that I give him on Sunday, or when I'm lost in worship at my home, I feel a reciprocation. I feel something receiving that love. And after that, someone who's Christ receives that love, then I feel an outpouring of that love back to me. I cannot love humans the way I love God is because I'm not receiving the same power that I'm giving. I'm telling you that I'm missing the energy when it comes to humans that I'm giving God. Well, you say, Pastor, why are you talking about this? Because I was thinking just the other day, maybe I should call up one of my docs and say, I think I want to be married. I'm just going to be open. You're my psychiatrist. You're my psychologist. It's not like, my days are over. I still got a little giddy in my step. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ride it. And I thought, I thought, what, why you got left? Why, would y'all come to my wedding? Why not? And I thought, and then I began, okay, and then I began to think about love. And then I began to think about the reciprocation. And then I began to think about the service of love. And then I began to think about the tenderness of love. And then I began to think about the sacrifice of love. And I thought to myself, I'm doing pretty good till it got to the sacrifice of love. I, And I'm thinking, man, I think you might be a little too set in your ways now. You know what I'm saying? I think you might be a little too staunch in some of the areas that you don't want to bend on it. And so when I think about love and I'm thinking about, well, how does that come about? How am I supposed to know when I'm supposed to give it and when I'm supposed to give? Once I say that I love you, what am I supposed to do with that? Do I give you my body or do I just cook fried chicken for you? What do I do? What do I do? Do I perfume between my toes? Do I perfume behind my ear? Do I let you nuzzle your nose up against my neck? What are you looking for from me when I say I love you? So now I'm confused because I love you. I don't know. But what I do know is I know that I've been committed by Christ to love you the way I love myself. The word of God says that. So I'm confused because my body says that I have love to give, although I don't even know what it is. I'm torn this morning because I don't think the church talks enough about love. And so now the construct of love has become this nasty little thing that says, I give you my body because I say I love you. So I went through Genesis, and you know that's my faith. And I kept trying. You say why? Because everything happened in Genesis. So I'm trying to find this love thing in the Bible. I'm trying to find this reciprocating thing that says that Christ loved me. And then go to Genesis, the 22nd chapter. What gets me about the text is 22nd chapter. This is the first time the word love has been named love. Genesis, the 22nd chapter. Let's go with very familiar. Let's see. Let's see. Verse 2. It says, and I'm in NIV, then God said, take your son, your only son. Now, this is familiar because, you know, God and Jesus, the only son. So now we find the reciprocation in Genesis 22. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. And then it says, sacrifice him there. Wait a minute. Wait. I think this is too heavy for me just to know. I'm trying to find out about love. This is too heavy for me right now. Okay, so now I'm reading chapters 1, 2, 3. I'm reading the creation because the purpose of the book of Genesis is to establish God's origin with his people on the world. All right. And so what happens is that's why is this the origin of his communication with his people. Then he gets to Exodus where he starts dispersing his people based on what he learned about them in Genesis. So we find out that all the things that God is saying about love, it doesn't show up until the 22nd chapter. But so what am I doing then? Okay, so hold on, because now I'm really confused. So if I love you, that means I have to sacrifice you. Okay, hold on now. This is what you got to pay attention. Because now what we've done, we've translated love to be a rubbing on my thigh when I have that tangle. And so this says, if I love you, then I must sacrifice you. Okay, here. And this is why everybody's talking about, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, Parker. I love you. No, you. And then when he gets 16 and he starts acting out, you don't love him anymore. See, we throw the word around so generously, but I'm not sure if we know exactly what Christ was looking for us when he started talking about love. So here in the text, he says, Isaac, you know, Isaac, you only got one boy. So I tell you what you do with that. Go up there and then cut off his head. Go and sever him, Isaac, because you love him. So it's my interpretation to be when I say that I love you, that I should love you enough to sacrifice you or let you go. And I don't think that's what's happening when I'm saying I'm loving people. It's not happening when people say I love you. When I do wedding vows and people say I love you, I look at them and know this ain't gonna last but 3 days. I'm saying that based on what this is telling me, and I go back to Genesis chapters 1 and 2, I'm saying that the word love is not mentioned, but there's an act of loyalty that fathers moves with here. And so what happens is I'm finding myself saying the word, but not really having the feeling because I haven't yet identified the feeling because it's being morphed by what society tells me it's supposed to be. And so now I'm moving in this morph place that if I attach myself to someone and they attach themselves to me, we're looking at sacrifice. So that means if he loves me, then he sacrificed me. And if I love him, that means he sacrificed me. It says that he sacrifices for me. Look at the text. It says sacrifice him. It didn't say find something and sacrifice for him. No, it says give him up. Love says I have to give you up. Oh my God, my God, my God. So while I'm looking at relationships, I'm thinking, well, what are you thinking? And I'm thinking, how does this work? So society tells me that if I love you, there should be some acts that follow it. And society says that, but it doesn't tell you only in this particular case. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying that some of you are saying, I love you for a trinket. A trinket, something that's not really expensive in value. You can get them anywhere, usually at a gas station. It could be a key ring. It could be a refrigerator magnet. It just says something I'm thinking about you. So now am I to think just because you brought me a trinket, I should love you and give you my body? I'm trying to figure this thing out. Help me. I'm trying to figure out if I want to be married because I'm trying to figure out how much do I have to give, and is the sacrifice me or did he already die on the cross? So I'm telling you, I'm loving you. I'm trying to understand what's happening with my feelings. I'm liking the fact that we're in each other's presence. I like how I feel when I'm in your presence. Whether it's a girlfriend or a guy friend, I just feel comfortable. Everything is so wonderful until it comes down to Jesus and God say, hey, you know you love him, right? So you know you got to sacrifice him, right? So this is what it is. It didn't say, God didn't say, well, you got some more sons coming up. Just go ahead and give Isaac up. I just go ahead and give your boy up because you're going to have some more. No, there is a commitment that goes along with saying, I love you. And it's the commitment that the church is missing now. We come in here, we close our eyes, and we get all caught up in worship. And then we go outside and show our other folk our ugly side. Let me tell you the difference between a commitment and marriage vows. This is why I say all the time, God doesn't care about no paper that you come up and you make me sign to say you married. God don't care about that. God doesn't like vows, okay? And the reason he doesn't care too much for vows is because he doesn't want you all to just have these worthless conversations in front of everybody, knowing when you say those words, you don't mean it. Everything that you say up to that point, before we say or exchange these vows, there has to be a commitment that goes along with it, or the vows don't work. And so some of you, God says, that's why I don't like vows, because you have these heretics out there talking about how much they're going to do and how much they love you. But when it all boils down to it, where is your love? Where is your sacrifice? Where is your commitment to God? Where is your commitment? First of all, I've got to start practicing my love on God before I can even begin to give it to man. And so if I have asked come to church, okay, I did it. If I have come to church, does that mean I'm going to have show up in our relationship? If I don't give what I'm supposed to in this particular relationship, how am I going to learn about another relationship? Especially when this one is giving me a reciprocatory act. I love him. You know why? Because he first loved me. It was so easy to love him. He was always there. He wiped every tear. He was there at every graduation. He was there at every upcoming and every down low play. He was there. And if I have difficulties loving him, how am I going to love a man? How am I going to not be able to love somebody who's giving me everything? And then I'm going to turn around, take my clothes off, and give you ninnies? What am I thinking? It is not equivalent. I want you to understand that love has been whitewashed and downwashed by society and what's going on in social media. If you really love, you are committed. You are committed, and it doesn't make a vow to make you committed. There has to be an action. When we go through Genesis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we go through all of them. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for how to love. Now, they was having babies. Obviously, so procreation was going on. But it wasn't because of any marriage vows. It wasn't because somebody said, I love you. No, the purpose of the union of marriage was to make sure property stayed in certain places. That's why the marriages were arranged by parents. And so this feeling that we're conjuring up, that we're making up, this feeling that we're making up because we want to feel like we're part of everybody else, this gooey feeling that we think everybody's feeling, everybody ain't feeling it. Some of you have never experienced love of a parent, love of a grandparent. There are holes in our lives that we're acting like they're not there. We don't even know what love is. I love you? How? With what? With the love of Jesus? What am I loving you with? With my body? What am I loving you with? My words? What am I loving you with? I cannot get you to remain stable long enough to love you. Do you know why he loved me and I love Christ? Because he's always, period. Period. He's always, fill it in. He's always what? He's always what? He's always what? That's a location. Where is he? And what is his concept on this thing called love? And so I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, so they reproduce it. Cain and Abel, everybody's making, because they got to make sure that they have property and people to run the property. Everything's going on, but there's no love. But society now is looking for this thing that they see on TV that thinks it's going to happen just the way it happens on TV. And then you see that it didn't do well for that one. And so you're like, I'm going to reproduce that same act. I'm going to do that same thing. Hopefully I can get the same expression that this person got on TV. Let's think about how ignorant that is. Let's think about how just a moment ago y'all had tears running down your face and down your cheeks and your eyes and your makeup, and the sweat was got your hair, your baby hair falling down. And you're looking really, really, really bad. And then you go home with your wife and then you don't even speak to her. What is this? I love you. I love you. I love you just because I took the vow. I love you because I'm having dinner with you. I love you because, what is it? What is this thing that says, I feel comfortable with you? We need to start using our words in the church today. We need to start understanding that our words mean something. And we need to make sure that they mean exactly what we feel. But then we've got to figure out what we feel. And so we're not figuring out what we feel because we're just going to do what they do on social media, on TV. So we're going to try. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this outfit because the girl who wore this outfit, she got laid real good. Let's think about it. You all laugh about it, but you know it's happening. You laugh about it, but you know people are so hazed in their mind now that they don't come to church for the word. They come to church for the social part of the event. I want you to understand that when Christ talked about love, he didn't talk about some vows. He didn't talk about a white dress. He didn't talk about a tuxedo. What he was talking about is the commitment of love. Some of us can't practice the commitment because we are unstable in all our ways. And so how can we practice commitment when we're unstable? I can't get you in the same place, the same time on a regular basis Sunday to worship his holy name, but yet you want to chase around the city streets. So what are you offering them? What is it? I love you? What are you loving? Are you loving yourself first? Or are you trying to get caught up? So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this, and then that's going to make me love me. And then in turn, then I can love you. That doesn't work. What is the church doing with the product? The product is for God so the world that his begotten. All right. And so out of love, once again, sacrifice. So I'm professing my love to people, and I've learned to say, with the Christ kind of love, that I don't know if I'm doing this thing right. I don't know if if I'm whispering in your ear or you whispering in my ear, and is it the truth? I I I I'm concerned because I didn't want to bring, but I want to bring this message this 1st of September because we've got a couple more months left in discipline. And so when we're dealing with our discipline, the easiest discipline to fall off of is our emotional discipline. And the first thing to pull us off is when we convince ourselves that we love something. Because in our mind, that word love says this is supposed to happen next. And so then when it doesn't happen next, you think something's wrong with you. So you make it happen. And so now you're making things happen that's supposed to come naturally through your commitment. Oh my God, let's talk about that just for a moment. This is why Christ says, stop all the talk. Show me what you're working with. This is why the word love was not mentioned in the text, simply because he was too busy showing it to us. He was showing us faithfulness. He was showing us loyalty. He was showing us that he's always there. He was showing us his heart. He was not saying those words. He didn't need to. He was showing us. You can't tell me you love me, then sock me upside my head. Oh, but it happens it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And then you act like that's not a black eye because he sent the flowers to your work site. He sent hey, poo-poo. Okay, don't say nothing. He sent the flowers to your work site. And so because he sent the flowers to your work site, now you feel, because you said you love him, you feel you got to keep that secret. Because he tried to make amends for it, but you don't have to make amends when you're committed. There's no amends when you're committed. It is the smooth process of giving the love that Christ has innately in us. But we've done morphed it into this sexy thing. So now I got to learn how to dance on a pole. I got to get some pillows so my legs could be up in there just so. I got to get toys. I got to get all these other things when that has nothing to do with love. Because what happens when I'm not able to do that? Do you stop loving me? I can't do it so do you stop loving? So love is a commitment that goes on without an action. It is the reciprocation of what Christ gave us. And so that means the commitment is this. That means I am loyal to you and I'm in tune to what you have to say. And I care about what you say. And none of that says sexy, or does it? See, when I'm listening to you and I'm hearing what you're saying and I feel that you begin to weep, when I do that in the presence of Christ, I love him, I feel the warmth of his arms. Then encompass me because of the commitment that we've made together, which does not have any to do with me saying the word. But when I think of the goodness of Jesus, and all that he's done for me, my soul, it can't help it. So if I'm forcing myself to do something with someone else, then my soul is not doing it. That means I'm using my body as leverage to get some words that mean not a dang thing. So when I'm thinking of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done, my soul cries out, hallelujah. That's just because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about how good he's been to me. And I'm thinking about, I can't wait till he gets home so I can talk to. Wait a minute. He doesn't have to get home. I can tell him right now what I'm feeling. I don't have to. He's not in a board meeting, so I don't have to interrupt him. And I know if I call, he will answer. So how can I give that to somebody who does not give that back to me? How can I profess to tell somebody, well, okay, I think I can be married? So what I was doing was pondering on making a decision that had nothing to do with love. I was making a decision based on how I felt, but what I felt was not love. It was like, you're getting older now. Come on now. I look at my youngins who serve like they getting paid. I'm thinking, man, and they getting older too. So if you ain't going up them steps like that, how long they gonna go up them steps like that? I'm getting older now. But if I marry somebody, come on now. If I marry somebody, I can convince myself that it's love. Because but what happens when love? Now I have to look for another step. Okay. So I'm committed. I understand the purpose. I'm going for it. But what happens when I have to begat? Does love go beyond not being to begat? Does love go beyond the commitment of love? Go beyond? Babe, I can't do it right now. I have a headache. Babe, after my first child, things didn't happen like this so easily. So I'm having difficulties now. So does the commitment go out the door when my body goes out the door? Does the commitment that you said you love me? Because with vows, that commitment goes out the door. Let me tell you about a vow. A vow is a bunch of pretty words that you say because you feel that right that second. But it is not enough to keep you tuned into a partner for a lifetime. This is why he says it's best if we build something first. Then we have something worth saving together. And so we won't have to use flowery words that mean nothing anyway. Some of you all don't want to think about it like that. But I'm trying to get you to understand where marriage is going from where it came from. It's going back to where it began. Marriage is not a place. The wedding is the place where everything is pretty, but the marriage is a place of a lifetime. It is the commitment. And so if you say you love me, that's through thick and thin, good times and bad times. And so when we exchange with each other as church members, when we exchange with each other as family members, we've got to understand that God was looking for something different than what we're giving. And so what are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying some of you need to stop giving right now. Some of you have to watch how you give based on the fact that you say you love. Love means sometimes not giving it all. Yeah, come on, children. Sometimes, so when Christ says he loves us, he doesn't always come to our rescue and picks us up. He leaves us to sit in that stuff sometimes so we'll understand, let's not go back here again. Sometimes love does not rescue. Sometimes love does not save. Sometimes love needs to be strong enough to know that I can stand on my own. Some of you are looking for saviors that he's not. He said, there's only one, and I done gave you what I'm going to give you. I done gave you what I'm going to give you. You want to join with somebody because you think somebody can make you feel better. You make yourself feel better. You make you feel better. You need to empty your love out on you first. Empty all that love out on you. Quit looking for somebody to couple with and give you these pretty words that means absolutely nothing because the vows are there, but the commitment is not. And what Christ is showing us in the book of Genesis, he's showing us commitment. He sees us do wrong. He sees us say the wrong things. He sees that we're making mistakes, but yet he's always there. How can I measure up? Now, I'm not going to find somebody like this on earth. I'm not going to find somebody who's perfect as Christ. But darn, I got to get close. I need to get close. Some of y'all like, well, give me that one. Which one? I don't know. The one with the red hat. But that is not how you choose a mate. But I like the color red. Come on. Ooh, he didn't bust my balloon. So I don't get the commitment because as soon as I come out, you pop the balloon. So you don't want to hear what I got to offer. You don't want to see my heart. You just want to see my cleavage and my behind, and that's okay. That is not commitment. You don't even let me show you anything, and before you pop in my balloon. Some of y'all don't understand. It's a little rinky-dink show, you know. And so what Christ is saying, hey, ride that thing for a while. Whoa. He says, stay in the game long enough before you share, I love you. It is not a word that you just toss around. I've got to go through some storms with you, Tasha, before I say I can love you. When you left the church, Tasha, we didn't see you, and God knows the church did a good thing, put you in a place, but God has been good. And I thought, Lord, just pray. Let me tell you how it is. I'm human. As a pastor, we do some things. We're looking for some. Come on, come through. And you came through. You came through for him because you're committed to him versus committed to me. Do you all understand what I'm talking about? You all are trying to be committed to me. You better get your lives right and be committed to Christ. You better understand I ain't got no heaven or no hell to put you in. But I'm telling you, when you cannot commit to Christ, your life with someone is doomed. How how are you going to figure this thing out? How are you going to figure out how to work? How do you know if you love somebody? Because you got a tangling. I, well, ain't nobody ever bought me this. So that makes you give up yourself because ain't nobody ever bought you that. Wait a minute now, because now we're talking about that trinket love. So Red Lobster says I got to give up the. Come on now, you all used to do it for Cheddar Bay biscuits. Let's talk about it. You all used to do it for a Cheddar Bay biscuit. The bottom line is this: if your love and your vows are centered around Cheddar Bay biscuits, you're going down. When Christ when Christ created heaven and the earth, and He created man on to abide on heaven and earth, what He did was He opened up a situation for relationships. Okay, and those relationships, but we don't attach the word love to it, and we don't attach what happens when you say you love. So come on, you all understand what I'm saying? I can't say it on Sunday. When you say you love someone, you automatically, if you said it to someone you're interested in, you automatically looking to cross another barrier. And that's the barrier that says you cannot cross based on procreation. I can love you without giving you the tail. Oh, that's unheard of now. Okay. I knew it was going to get quiet, but that's okay. I'm going to keep moving to it. Because some of y'all are determined to get some tail. This is what I'm saying to you. All I'm saying is the aftermath of that is up to you. Christ created sex and it was good. We discussed that on last week. My concern is when I'm talking about love and my interpretation of love, I'm trying to figure out how much of me do you get? How much of me do you get? No, there's no book. There's no steps. I wish I could make it easier for you, but it doesn't work like that. So you got to kind of figure this thing out. And some of us have made some mistakes. So some of us have made some mistakes trying to figure this thing out, okay? Can I get a few witnesses in? Can I get a few people who've been on the other side of the street and cried all night long? Okay. And so now because I'm trying to figure out now because I don't like that feeling that I had of crying because I felt used and abused. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to do it better the next time, okay? And so what I'm trying to ask God is, so I went back into, because I'm thinking about this marriage thing. So I went back into the text, and I thought, okay, so He created, it was good. And I'm going on. Y'all know my favorite book. We ain't playing with you today. And so we go back and all that and all that. So I see how He established the nations. I see this. And now I'm getting to 22. And the only thing that He says is He tells somebody to love, because give your son away because you love it. That's a concern for me. That's a concern because I don't know if I had that. I'm telling you, y'all don't have these conversations with yourselves that I do. Because what this Ted told me in the text of 22 and 2 is that if He loves me the way I love Him, then He too has to sacrifice me. And I'm not the girl that's used to being sacrificed. I'm not that girl, And so all of the things that go along with it, and I still don't understand. So what does this love look like? He says, now, I'm going to show you what a love looks like with a parent. And this is the example that He's given in 22. He said, this is parental love. I said, but I'm dealing with social love. I'm dealing with the construct of marital love. I'm dealing with, and I kept looking and I kept looking. And He said, I ain't dealing with that. That's why the marriage vows are not in the Bible. They're not in the Bible because He doesn't believe in the construct of vows. What He wants us to learn is the trustworthiness of commitment. And so once I say that I love you, once I really understand what that means we locked in. I don't need no ring. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't need no bubblegum wrapper. I don't need no dress. Once I tell you I love you and you get sick and you can't take care of yourself, roll over, get me that soapy bucket and we're going to clean. That's what love is. Some of y'all don't want to get dirty for love. You don't know love. You just want to get flued out. You want to get ate out. But I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. That is not the commitment that God says love. Let's just for a moment. Benita, come back. I'm saying this to you. I'm saying this to you. Sometimes Christ is not looking for trinket love. And although you think you hold your body in such high esteem, it's a trinket. Because if you dangling it in front of everybody, it could be on that refrigerator or that refrigerator. It could be on that key or that key. Some of y'all don't understand. Christ is not calling for superficial vows. He's calling for the commitment of loyalty and faithfulness. This is the book of Genesis. Although he acted a fool, his disciples turned out on him. He never left them. That's commitment. So when he says, I love you, John, he wasn't talking trash. I love you, Paul. He wasn't talking trash because he wasn't saying it with his lips. He was saying it with his actions. When you are associated with someone and all they want to do is do lip service, but we find ourselves holding on to the lip service because we don't know there's more. We don't know that there's more because we haven't seen it. We didn't see it with our parents. We didn't see it with our grandparents. We didn't see it with our neighbors. Oh, they've been married for years, but I ain't never seen this thing called love. I ain't never seen the sacrifice. I ain't never seen the discipleship that the Bible talks about, how you should love the one that you come into commitment with. And commitment does not mean male, female, 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 male, male. Commitment says, I love you no matter. Stop saying it because you're lying. Because as soon as I say something, do something wrong, you'll leave me. And I've got to be strong enough to know it's okay. I love you. So I've learned to interpret and understand it a little differently. See, so the way you love is not the way that I love. So it's difficult to help you understand it. I just know that sometimes you give too much. You do. Stop. Stop. You give, because we're thinking that, oh, it's going to come back my way. And what comes your way is another broken heart. This is why when I tell someone that I love them, and I do say it now, because I do know the kind of love that I'm going to give you, and then I'm trying to make sure you understand what kind of love. I'm going to give you this love, and your tears won't affect this love, because I probably will make you cry often. That's what a good pastor does. I'm going to line you behind up, and then I'm going to tell you I love you, because when all others fail, you can figure out where I am, and I'll be in that same place I was when you left me. Something that you don't have. So I'm not going to waste that kind of love on you until you figure out who you are in it. Oh, you all ain't getting this. You ain't getting this. So by the time we exchange, I love you, you love me, it's like, hold on, let's not share that too quickly. Back it up a little bit, Wody. Back up, lunch meat. What we want to do is we want to figure out now, what does that mean? Does that love mean that you looking to exchange what? You want my bank account number? You want my passcode? Well, you want my body? Tell me what you want. Let's discuss openly and honestly, because the text said, once I exchange commitment to you, we could be neighbors, but I'm gonna be there when you need me. Do you understand love? We have to stop looking at constructive love between a sexual affair. That is not what love is in the text. The love, the sexual piece of love is the least concern of God. Like, is he going to send me somebody? Who goes? Wait, let's talk about it for a moment. Who is sending y'all these people? Because some of y'all got people, and I want to know where you got them. Who's sending you these? Hillary, shame. Hillary won't even look at me. Who's sending you these people? That is not the job of Christ. That's something you've made up again. I'm looking for God to send me a mate. That's why he died on the cross, so you could choose your own. But he's looking for you to use the wisdom that he left with you when he died on the cross. So when he rose again and he gave you all righteousness, that came with wisdom. And so now you stop it. So now and so now what we're doing is we're playing with words, and now we're like, oh my God, I'm getting wisdom. I can't go to NBC because now she's opened up my wisdom block. I liked it better when I was ignorant. I love you. I love what you do for me. I love how you show up for me. I love how you give my life stability. I love how I feel when you come into the room and I smile. But what does that mean? Do I have to give up to you? So what does that mean? It means I love those trinket things about you. But it's not enough for you to give me my total self, because right now I'm so busy giving it to God. I'm giving it to God so I can figure out what I have to give to someone that I want to take that commitment with, not just a vow. We need to stop thinking about being in love as vows and weddings, and we need to think about it of the sacrifice of commitment. So if you don't work because you've been fired or the company closed down, let's make it here. Company shut down, and so now I'm carrying the load. My commitment says I don't begrudge it. Okay, stop it right there. Stop it right there. But if I'm side eyeing you every time I come home, that means you lack wisdom and discipline. You all are not understanding. It is not a cakewalk to tell somebody, I'm going to give you my name and mean it. It's different. It says that I'm committed to you without this vow thing. I know we're working toward the same thing. And so now it's not always going to be like this. I need someone to turn to the person sitting next to them and say, whatever you're going through, it's not always going to be like this. I, no, no, no. Look at someone else and tell them that, because what happens is the commitment, or you lacking having someone. And the fact that you lack having someone, you think the blessing is not there. I love you. Do I? I love you. I love you. I love you. Sacrifice what you love. Sacrifice what you love. Sacrifice what you love. The commitment first has to be with Christ. This is why Isaac continued the journey. Isaac continued the journey because his commitment first was with God, with Abraham, as opposed to Isaac. Do you all understand what I'm saying to you? I'm trying to get you to understand that you got to get the first commitment of love first. You got to get the first commitment. How do you what do you feel? Grateful when you close your eyes and you cry doing praise and worship? What you feel? Just, Lord, it could have been worse. You saved me. You brought me from a mighty long way. So when I close my eyes and when I think of the goodness of Jesus, I'm thinking of all the great things he's done to me. And then the reciprocation I want to give him is now the pouring out of what he's given me. And so the word now is pouring out. So now he's pouring out. My eyes are swelled with tears. And I'm just so grateful, because out of all the things that he could have done, he didn't do it. He didn't sacrifice. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And I think, oh, I'm just so, so, so grateful. And then I think, how do I muster up that same feeling for a human being? Commitment. And so everybody that you say, I'm not just sleeping around. I loved him. Wow. Did you? Did you? Did you? And so when you're loving, are you understanding why Christ loves you? Do you understand? Christ loves you because he was looking for a relationship. All right. So he didn't create you out of love. He created you because of love. All right. And so because of that, love should be an outpouring, an outpouring. But I find that some of you just keep outpouring, but you never receive. And the world is full of people who don't receive. And so, but you have to say it to keep faith. I love you. You don't mean it. You don't mean it. It's just a thing that comes off, you know, off your lips. We'd laugh at Big Daddy all the time. I call him Barack because I tell you, Big Daddy, I love you, and Big Daddy tell me thank you. That's what Barack used to tell the girls in college. They used to tell him they loved him, and he would say thank you. I said, wow, he would never exchange those words because he didn't mean it. So we had to now we get on Big Daddy because I said, Big Daddy, I love you. He said, with all my heart, Pastor, I adore you. Because because I told him you're gonna have to tell me you love me back. It's one thing to recognize when you don't know it. It's another thing to fake it and sacrifice your life. That's called suicide. I want to admonish the church today to stop committing suicide. Ain't nobody killing us. We killing ourselves with our own thoughts and our own dreams in our lives because it's not adding up to what the word is saying. And so now I'm in this rat race. I'm just going around in circles, doing the same thing, trying to convince myself this is love. Is it? Let's talk about it. And so those are the things that I want you to recognize. When we go there, love is commitment and sacrifice. What are you willing to give? What are you willing to give up? When you say that you love, when you say that I love you, there has to be a commitment with Christ first for that mortal love to work. Let me repeat that. I must have a relationship with Christ and the loving of him and me before I can tell somebody, yes, I'll take your hand in marriage and I love you. So some of you are going, well, you're not even going backwards. You just forget about the Christ love once you got somebody in your bed. For some of us, having someone in our beds is so much more important than having Christ in our heart. And the relationship that I learn about love has to be through the commitment of Christ first. Once I see how he loved me, look at this now. Once I see that how he loves me, then the next person that says they love me has to mirror some of the things he's shown. It is the model. So all of y'all want to know the Lord's Prayer, Our Father, which I have. You memorize that. You make your kids memorize that because that's just a model. So they should start off in another prayer before they learn the foundation of prayer. This is learn the foundation of love. If Christ loves me this way, why am I accepting your trinket love and tell you, yes, I'll marry you? What's the purpose of the vow? The commitment has to be with Christ first. We're out of order, church. This is why marriage and divorce rate is higher in church than anywhere else. Because we don't love Christ first. We just go out there seeking someone else, hoping they're going to rescue us. But the person that did rescue us, you don't want to get here on time to worship him. I don't understand it. I don't understand what's 3, 4. What I can't wait to get here. Do you understand that? I can't wait to get in the presence. I know this is a strip mall to some of you, but this is a holy place based on what I feel about it. And so what happens here and the atmosphere that this generates, I can't wait to be a part of. But when you don't want to go home, you have not generated the right atmosphere. Oh my God. And that is because you have not set the right precedence first by looking at the construct of what Christ says love is. And love is sacrifice. Love is endurance. Love is kind. All of that kind of stuff. That's the word. That's the kind of stuff that people want you to say at their weddings when I know it ain't going to last. You have not shown it to Christ yet. And he's constantly showing you. And you can't give it back to him. How you going to give it to Joker over here? How you going to give it to Susie over here? How you going to give it to Joker? Because as soon as they stop doing what you want them to do, you don't want nothing to do with them no more. You don't want nothing to do with them because it's not commitment. It's vow love. It's that vow stuff. I said the word. I told you once I loved you, didn't I, girl? What does that mean? Because you told me you loved me once, you're only going to tell me one time? So quaintly said from a man. He said, you better remember, I told you. Listen to Genesis 22 again, and then I'm done. I'm done because I got to figure it out. I remember when I first started the church, I wouldn't marry people. Y'all remember that? I didn't want no part of the foolery. I didn't want no part of it. It was just tomfoolery to me. Like We love each other. You don't even know how to wipe your own behind. How you love each other? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. People can't hold a job, but you gonna marry them. Hell, hell. So wait a minute. In Genesis, we're talking about the commitment and stability of things. So now you finding yourself going outside the constructs of what Christ says this thing is, because now you're trying to make up your own movie, and then you're gonna get mad at God when your choices don't work. Because we've taken love. You cannot love someone else till you first love Christ. But Christ so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Okay, so now he's saying, okay, Abraham, give. So now, whatever it is that I find that is heavy in my heart that I love, he wants me to give it back. What are you saying, Pastor? I'm saying that's what happens in baptisms. That's what's supposed to happen. When you love your child enough to give him back. And that's why sometimes you're like, well, I don't know what he's doing. It's not your child. You baptized. It's no longer yours. You gave him back. So stop worrying about it and just trust God with it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Because you can't follow youngins around all the time. You can't follow your husband around all the time. Just let it do what it's going to do. Keep him prayed up. And I ain't even praying for him. See, that's right away. Trinket. Trinket love. Look at him over there. I came home drunk. But that's not the first time he came home drunk. So now what makes it different? Oh, this time he came home drunk without a job. Before he came home drunk with a job, and you all still went on cruises and stuff. See, I understand. So there's the commitment says there's constructs to this. I only love you because that's not what Christ says. That's not what Christ says. You all are giving yourself simply because you want some reciprocation. And that's not how I'm tired. Okay, here we go. It says 22 and 2. Then God said, take your son. Stop. Look at the ownership of this. This is parental love now. Then God said, take your son. That means there's some time you're going to have to be with him before you sacrifice him. That means there's some time that your feelings are going to grow with him, and I'm still going to take him from you. Look at this. Look at this. That means in the midst of you loving something so strongly, he's going to take it. Look at this. Look at the text. Look at the text. Then God said, take your son. So it has to go to a place. So there's some travel time. Look at this space in between there, right? He says, take your son. So that means there's pondering time. What are you saying, Pastor? Pondering time. Sometimes do you think, should I be doing this? Is this what God really wants from me? Do I really love this? This says, take your son, your only son. And then he heightens it, and he takes the knife and he puts it in him and he twists. He says, your only one. And so right here he says now, Abraham, so this is what I want you to do. I'm going to take the only one you got. And I'm not looking for words, because they took the only one they're going to, okay? And so what he's doing is he said, no, we're going to mirror some experiences with this love. So that's called outpouring. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to show you how it's done. And so you can understand. I'm not just asking you to do it. I'm showing you how to do it. Okay, and see, this is where we go wrong. We want the words to stop me from realizing that you hit me upside my head. You want the trinkets and the flowers to make me think you're not treating me poorly. Oh my. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, your only son, Isaac. Then he called him by name, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there. Now, as a burnt offering. So not only do I want you to kill him, I'm going to tell you how to kill him. I'm going to tell you how to kill him, and then I want you to take him on this specific place, and then I'll show you. So it is not the word love, it is the exchange of love. So now Abraham is showing his love to God because he's being what? There you go. There you go. So the commitment is there. And so he's trusting God enough. So he would have never been able to take him. He would have never been able to take Isaac had he not had a commitment to God. I hope y'all got that. Because see, some of y'all, God is asking you to do things and you're refusing. You're refusing, and you know God is telling you to do it, but you're refusing because you don't have a commitment with him first. But you want to run and tell somebody else, I love you. And then you want to come up to church. I love you, God. I love you, God. Save it. It says here in verse 3. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey because he's still committed. He took him with two of his servants and his son Isaac. So that's that space I'm talking about in between. So there's a preparation period. Then you can use your thoughts. Should I be doing this? To do or not to do? You see what I'm saying here? There's a presence here. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about. So not only is he preparing, he prepared before he got there just in case that there was no wood that could kindle or burn. I'm going to do what Christ said. So I'm going to bring the things that will cause me to truly commit this sacrifice. He says, stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. So now he takes his son to his burial site. Come on now. Look at the sacrifice. He said, this is where you're going to die. We will worship and then we will come back to you. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. How could he do this without his commitment to Christ first? Do you understand why you stymied? Do you understand why you get stuck? Because you're not committed to who you're supposed to commit to first. So now you spread yourself out so thin because your commitment to Christ is not there. Because you could never do this had you not had a relationship with God. I'll go back to 6. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. And he himself carried the fire and the knife. Look at the commitment there. Look at the commitment. So once you're committed in one relationship, it's practice so you could be committed in another. Do you all understand? You all are showing me your cards, and that's what concerns me sometimes. It's showing me you're not committed to nothing. That's what concerns me. So now he's so committed to the death of his son, listen, because he's committed to his father, that he's thorough. He's not half it. You see what I'm saying? He's very thorough. Go back to 6. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. And he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the two of them went on together, Isaac spoke up and said, Father, somebody got to say something. You know, he got to, where Daddy? Look, he got some questions. But look at the commitment of Abraham. He says, yes, my son. What? You know when your son or your child cries out like that, you know what they're going to ask? He said, Abraham replied, the fire and the wood are here, Isaac said, but where? But where's the sacrifice? I'm done. Before you go off into a relationship and you don't know Christ, how you going to go with something and you ain't got the foundation to go with yet? Because right when he says, where is the sacrifice, Daddy, we all would have crumbled. We all would have failed right there. We all like, baby, you right. Come on, let's go back to Mebane. I mean, we'd have turned around. You hear me? We don't have, the church is not teaching that kind of commitment anymore. They teach it, well, if you just show up. No, you need to more than show up. You need to worship him. You need to love on him. You need to do what the word says. But you're like, I was there, huh? You just checked it off the box. Well, check these off the box. That is not what Christ wants. That is not his idea of love. And this commercial thing that you all trying to do is not going to work until you understand the foundation of love. And that foundation of love is in the entire book of Genesis. Even when the disciples were wrong, he didn't stop loving them. Even when they had wrong thoughts, he didn't stop loving them. So by the time you tell me that you love me, that means that there's going to be some discipline and discipleship shown on my behalf. I didn't mean that. People leave, well, pastor was rude. No, disciple. I apologize. I don't care that much about you like that, no way. But I apologize because it's the right thing to do. But I'm not going to get so caught up on focusing on you leaving me. And then there's a room full of people here who still need to hear the word. You see that? So I'm still going to burn. I'm still going to bring the wood. I'm still going to bring the knife. I'm still going to bring the sacrifice. Yes, because I'm committed to him, because those were the tears I was shedding earlier. So I'm trying to figure out, do you love him, or you just felt like I needed to share some tears because it was a rough week? So are those tears because you love him? Are those tears because you're committed to them? Are those tears just because I need an emotional release? Because you didn't get your trinket this week. I got some keychains in the car that I'll give you before we leave. I love you. the word of God for the people of God. Hallelujah to the Lamb of God. This is what I want. This is what I want y'all to do.